In Los Angeles. Desmond Shaw is overhead in SkyCal. Des, this guy is actually putting on a display of some good writing skills, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you kind of have to admit it, and it really just seems like this guy's kind of taunting officers at this point. Now, I mean, he even got, I think, motioning something, maybe giving him half a peace sign right there. So, this person, I mean, the police were right up on this guy, even at gunpoint. He decided to take back off. Really just does not seem to have a care in the world.
He don't care.
From, what LAPD was telling us, we know that this person definitely in a troubled mental state here as we swing the camera back around. This is another issue.
So I've heard that this guy is accused of brandishing a weapon on his balcony. Hey, bad friends, Danger Tater, welcome.
But this person just zipping all over the place here. But
Analytic and KO, welcome guys. You Dexter, you too.
And again, what started all this was reports that this person was allegedly waving a gun out around on their second floor balcony, which was right next to Chaminade High School, and in fact that prompted the high school to cancel their baseball game tonight, so they were taking maximum precaution over all.
Okay.
Really big LAPD response. It sounded like they had a line of communication open to this person, like they were trying to get them to put the gun away and at least come out and talk to police. And instead, this has turned from kind of a semi-barricade standoff, whatever you want to call it, into a full-blown high-speed pursuit through streets of the West San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, as we continue to follow this live here on KCAL News, I want to bring in from the assignment desk Mike Rogers. So, Mike, do we know of any victims in this situation at this point in time? We know that obviously he's in a troubled mental state. He was waving a gun from a home near Chaminade High School. That was placed on lockdown. Do we know of anybody?
Idris and Sasha, welcome.
At this point, luckily, we don't. There was, the report, the initial report, the reason they came here was for shots being fired, and the report was he was on his balcony, and
he was on his balcony firing his gun.
Right above the garage, and that's where he was. Now, the close proximity to Chaminade, and they had.
Let's do the 15-minute prediction.
That's why they suspended that.
If it works, I don't know if my shit's working. It's not. I can do it. It's just pain that the thing I usually use is not working.
So they've alerted their officers that, hey, we are considering this person to be armed and dangerous at this point.
And do we think that that was his home where this all started? And if so, is there family members that are talking to police that you know of?
We do believe it's his home. We don't know if there were family members there at the time or anybody they can communicate with.
Okay, prediction up.
Hopefully that there's somebody that can, shed light on his mental health, struggles that they've described. Now, one of the things, Jeff, that we've seen multiple times is they'll try to contact the suspect, right? They'll try to get on the phone with
Captive Terrell, welcome.
Is on a motorcycle. So
Yeet Master, how you doing?
May not be as easy as it has been before, and to be honest, it doesn't look like he really wants to communicate at this point. I mean, we watched him pull over to the side of the road. There were cops that walked right up to him and had him at gunpoint, and he took off. And it looked like he maybe said a couple of things to them, but he took off. And I was just playing back Desmond's video. They had,
Queso, what's up? Oh, Sean, what's up, man?
5 patrol cars.
Been a minute.
Blocking his cul-de-sac where he lived. And again, because of the agility of a motorcycle, he was able to go right up on the sidewalk and go right around them.
Really good information from the assignment desk and Mike Rogers. Let's go back up to Desmond Shaw up in SkyCal. So, Des, we understand that this person is in a troubled mental state, was waving a gun. We heard about gunshots. Have you seen any evidence, Des, that he still has the gun on him? And that
yeah, he's stopping for red lights. Like, he's following traffic laws in some ways. He's been speeding a little.
They believe that this person suffers from depression as well. So this is obviously a very volatile.
This is very common. I mean, this is the same thing we had the other night, right?
Now you've got innocent people involved here as well.
Hey, Canadian lady, welcome.
They're just sitting here, and here's LAPD out with weapons drawn. It must be an incredibly.
Sorry to hear that, Sean.
There you see LAPD's helicopter there that just went through our shot.
So, LXL, what's up?
A very volatile situation, especially now that as Mike's telling us that they were not able to recover a weapon at that residence. And
who's this?
The story.
Oh, he's got his phone.
Back of this bike right now. So this is just all.
That guy's getting an IG video. I'm jealous.
Still kind of in rush hour traffic. I mean, considering it's a Thursday as well.
Hey, RG Gregory, what's up? My day was good. Yeah, now it's better though. I'm glad to have some content.
And we'll see what this person's plan is, if they plan on getting on the freeway or what. But no interest in communication. Right now, possibly armed and dangerous.
He's so calm.
Very troubled state. This is a very difficult one for LAPD.
And of course, if they were to continue Valley Circle down to the 101, that would be the Calabasas area. If he chose to
Will they
go,
spike strip a bike?
to the
Nah,
right-hand
they
turn,
don't.
that would be kind of
I don't
north and
think.
west into Ventura County.
It's just,
switch
it's
to
too
Calabasas,
dangerous.
Agora
Could you
Hills,
think about it? Like the
Valley,
dude,
Fountain
oh, he's
Oaks.
gonna hit.
If you took a
Oh
left-hand
man.
turn, if you will, on the 101
Like,
going south, and
The guy who tried to swerves out of the way, you know, you just it crash,
and,
right?
Take a look. This is Valley Circle and Canzonet Street here.
LA just a different world. Yeah, I guess
The
so.
pursuit of a motorcycle, a rider on a motorcycle, wanted for waving a gun. Earlier today, we understand that shots may have been fired in this situation. That is the rider in the middle of the screen of your set there as we take a live look here from SkyCal. Let's bring back in Mike Rogers. Mike, this is one of those situations where he is obeying most of the traffic laws. He's stopping at a red light, but obviously is not complying with any commands by police.
Right, and you know, we even see when the police pulled up to him, he made some kind of gesture with his hand, like almost like a kind of keep talking, one of those types of gestures. And yeah, I mean, like we've talked about, it's a situation where LAPD doesn't have a ton of options here. There's no spike strips that they can do. There's definitely not a pit maneuver that they can do. All they can do is hopefully maybe at these traffic lights shout commands. Sorry, I'm listening to some radio traffic.
Yeah.
They're getting into LAS, the sheriff's department's jurisdiction, Jeff, as you were mentioning, getting close to Calabasas. So they're notifying the sheriff's department, but asking the sheriff's department to stay out of it. They want to keep tactical control of this, and I do hear them coordinating, allowing some additional units to be involved in this pursuit. One, because he's armed, right, which is always a concern, but two, because now we're getting, out of LAPD's jurisdiction, and they want to make sure they have enough units to handle this situation. But, as Desmond gets a nice tight shot there, you can see he is, he's talking to them, he's yelling at them. So hopefully these, the good part about him coming to a stop at the intersections like he's supposed to do, hopefully that's giving these officers a chance to maybe try and reason with him a little bit, because obviously they're not going to be able to do that over the phone, because he's driving this motorcycle. And Des, is that a red light?
I believe that was a red light. Yeah, the traffic from Calabasas Road there was, trying to go, and then he just went.
Yeah, Snot, you're right. They could tase him.
We are on to Mulholland Drive, Valley Circle.
Totally.
Mulholland Drive. We're south of the 101 freeway, getting into Calabasas, and this will either turn over into Mulholland.
Hey, Clear
Highway,
Joker, what's up?
Or bend over towards Topanga Canyon. So we'll see which direction the suspect decides to go at this point. But just very troubling behavior. We've seen, how these motorcycles sometimes will really, really push it. And when you consider that this person is not in a good frame of mind, it just adds another sense of danger to this whole thing. We've seen some motorcycle pursuits end in the worst possible way, and so that is another.
Gina, is anyone else having this problem?
Just as
it's all good?
not,
Okay.
In a good
How do they even catch people on bikes? Like, they just wait, or they just follow until a person basically gives up.
Technical information, but there is something they have up their sleeve that they're going to try to do that potentially will at least jolt him into doing, the right thing and pulling
What's
over
that?
here. They are starting to talk about their options, because they too are aware that they can't do a spike strip or pit maneuvers here. So they do have something that they are planning.
They have something
to hopefully bring this to an end.
What's up,
He
GP?
took Old Topanga Canyon Road. This is just over the 101 through Calabasas. Now taking Old Topanga Canyon Road at Rencrest and Blue
Depends
Road.
how many layers he's got on.
Kind of a wide turn. Part of an LAPD motorcycle pursuit.
Yeah, I
The
guess.
suspect, the rider, wanted for waving a weapon. Mike,
Slightly
you should also
tapping the
mention that
bike.
Chaminade High School
Yeah,
is
that
nearby
don't.
this.
That's a
There
bad
was,
idea in this case, right?
Baseball game at
Hey,
Chaminade
HRY,
High School postponed because of this. But this
I got
all
home on
after
Sunday.
Classes, is that correct?
Yeah. So the start time of this, and let me go back through my notes here and see if we know exactly what time it started. 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay.
So school would have been well
School's
over
out.
by then. So the student body as a whole was never in danger, but obviously
UF, what's up in Alpha?
playing baseball.
Pixel.
And of course the fans and spectators and all that as well.
Taking a big left-hand turn there, so we take a profile look of this motorcyclist here, wanted by LAPD for waving a gun at a home near Chaminade High School. We're not aware of any victims. No weapon has been seen since police have been in pursuit with him on his motorcycle. We have Desmond Shaw up in SkyCal, of course, as we continue to take this live here on KCAL News. I'm Jeff Vaughn, along with Mike Rogers. As I mentioned, up in SkyCal, it's Desmond Shaw. Let's get the latest from SkyCal.
Pixel.
Des, he's now on Mulholland Highway.
That's right, Mulholland Highway here as we make our way towards the east. So this should make it over to Topanga Canyon here shortly and see if that's what the suspect is thinking, if they're maybe going to take Topanga Canyon towards the coast, or if they turn north, then it'll be towards Woodland Hills and back towards the 101 freeway. Does this person have a plan? Again, you know, what started all this was
Yeah,
just,
GP, if you're horrible
you know, mental volatility
at talking to people.
walking around on their second story with
Best, what's
with a
up?
gun. And
Vic,
some
hey.
shots being fired. You see a bunch of units they're going through the shot right now. So we'll see what LAPD is thinking. As Mike was saying,
These bikes are loud.
Idea that they have. They were. You know, I was wondering if they were going to maybe try to coordinate something with.
Is that a real Harley?
Calabasas area, Lost Hills sheriffs, but now we're back in LA jurisdiction as we are on Topanga Canyon, I believe.
Oh, MKRQ.
Actually, okay, still on Mulholland Drive, but going to be coming up to Topanga
Let's
here
get it.
very quickly as they get ready to go underneath us, and then we'll see.
44 months,
what the plan
man.
is going to be once we get to Topanga Canyon. That will be the end of
MKRQ just
Mulholland
resubbed
Drive,
for 44
this section of Mulholland
months.
Drive anyway.
Let's get it.
Let's
Obviously
go.
Going through a number of jurisdictions here, Mike, as we take a look at LAPD will always.
Yeah, I mean, the
of course,
main law he's breaking is just driving
they
fast.
Follow this because they initiated this as they go through different jurisdictions, if you will. Des made mention of the sheriff's department there in Calabasas is the law enforcement agency there. Of course, they all partner and work with each other.
Was Cook
And if they
literally
need to, they will
crawling?
jump in and help
I
out.
don't
As
get
it
it.
appears at this point in
He
time,
literally
just a
crawled
number of
across?
LAPD cruisers in this pursuit.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
isn't
you
that
know,
illegal?
each
He's just
department has
streaming
their own
that?
Kind of, you know,
I don't
pursuit
get it.
policies or pursuit, you know, guidelines, if you will. Like CHP, it's either all theirs or it's all not theirs. They don't really want to be in a situation where it's, you know, a couple.
That's
of their
illegal,
people,
right?
A couple of LAPD's people. The sheriffs, I don't think, play that game quite as strictly. So, you know, if LAPD needed their help, certainly I'm sure the sheriff would step in and do that. But the LAPD has asked their dispatchers, their Bureau Communications Center,
It's legal.
to notify LASD and CHP, but
Okay.
ask them not to get involved. You know, LAPD, the other thing we have to remember about this is LAPD's been out with this guy, you know, for the better part of 2 hours. So whatever progress they've made with communicating with him, they want to be able to retain that progress. A new agency coming in would have to start that process all over. So whatever
Hey.
dialogue they had with
Thank
this
you for
guy,
following.
whatever they know about him already, that's a huge advantage for the LAPD, and it would be almost counterproductive to have another agency have to start that process over again from scratch.
Okay, we're getting on the freeway?
Now, this is going to be northbound. I believe.
Let's go.
This is going to go right by the Hidden Hills entrance, I think, right there, and heading northbound. Is that right?
Okay, whoa, all right. Now we got
We're
something on the
actually
bingo
going,
card.
East and southbound here. Yeah.
First
Yeah,
thing,
got
I
a little
think, if
turnaround
unless I
here. We
missed
were on Mulholland
something.
Highway.
I think the
We were
90
actually
plus
headed
is the
east, so we came
first
back
thing we
double
got
back to
here.
Where they were, and now we are on the eastbound 101. So first time we've been on the freeway at this point. And, you know, just because we're on the freeway doesn't mean that LAPD needs to turn this over immediately to CHP.
Is there anyone right behind him now? Are we in tracking mode? I have a feeling there's somebody behind him.
We'll see if CHP has any involvement in this one. But fairly light traffic conditions. This is the time of the day when the 101 starts to kind of clear up a little
Think
bit.
he will
Might
shoot a
be
cop?
some
No, I don't
couple
think he's
slow
going to
pockets
shoot
around,
anybody.
Tampa, Reseda, the 405.
Eurotime is
And,
wrong side of the
see
road.
Whatever the suspect is thinking, if they have some kind of a getaway plan or what the deal is.
How long have I been streaming chases? Man, almost 3 years. I think we're,
They still have their helicopter
I
overhead.
think I started maybe
And,
June
might be just beginning
of
right off the freeway now.
2020.
One exit over here at Topanga Canyon. Yep.
And
Pretty sure
just
that's where my
quickly,
first
just
streams
wanna
were,
give you an
chasing
update. I'm
chases.
listening to you know, the broadcast that's being put out to the CHP officers, and that broadcast is indicating he actually has 2 types of firearms on him.
2 types.
LAPD believes that he is not armed with just 1 gun, but now 2. So that's the
Milky
situation
welcome.
As well, and you know, LAPD had asked the other agencies to you know kind of.
Yeah, no, the 44
months.
I was streaming before we did chases, so I've been streaming.
And CHP is asking their units.
Yeah, I
to stay away
guess,
from it altogether. You know, we don't
almost
spook 'em,
4
we don't do
years,
anything like
but
that. LAPD wants to handle it.
I didn't start the
legally.
chases till later.
That's an obvious danger to the public if you have somebody in this state who has 2 weapons on them eluding police. Obviously, they want to get this stopped. But this
Leroy,
is
how's it
live
going?
here, live here on KCAL News. This is a threat to the public. This is a man that has already fired a gun.
Hey,
waved
Virgo,
a gun
welcome.
Earlier as well, has been interacting with police in this game of cat and mouse for about 2 hours plus now.
Yeah, the free bingo square doesn't fill in, guys. So it's just like the way it's designed is I click the free square and then it resets the card. So it counts the free square, but it never turns yellow.
From the assignment desk here, Mike Rogers, that rider has 2 weapons on him. He hasn't really been aggressive other than just showing aggressive riding skills, if you will. He's gone through a number of stop signs and red lights and been pretty fast, weaving in and out of traffic. But we haven't seen those weapons.
Okay, what? We missed this part.
Video from earlier today.
Okay.
On sidewalks and a little aggressive
cool.
riding there.
Don't really want replays, but okay.
Stop at a stop sign or stoplight. Police.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, the mic is a little hot, maybe.
Guns drawn, but the rider has interacted through hand gestures, and you can tell they're kind of talking back and forth. I want to add that Jasmine Veal has joined me now here on the set here on KCAL News as we continue to follow this breaking news of an LAPD motorcycle pursuit. SkyCal is overhead. Let's get back to Des as we take a live look on the
yeah, he's taking the scenic route.
With that video from earlier on the right-hand part. Des.
Damn, look at that.
Yeah, so we are on Dunmetz Avenue, San Feliciano, just to the west
okay.
of Topanga Canyon. Just kind of going around some random streets at this point. You know, we were wondering what the suspect was thinking when they got on the freeway. If they had
there were more than 5 cops in that instance. True, true.
Canyon. And now in this residential area of Woodland Hills, just to the south, the 101 freeway. I do apologize for the shot. We are shooting right into the sunset right now.
All right,
it's
is
the so that is
I may switch over to Eliana. What do you guys think? Let's do that.
Once the
it looks better
gets
right
out
now.
of the sun, should have a little bit better shot for you right now. But you know, pretty high speeds.
Going over speed bumps.
Reason to believe that there are 2 weapons. Yeah, over some speed bumps right here. You know,
off of Cohasset, if I'm not mistaken. And
Eliana not saying anything.
LAPD responded to the scene. They tried to get the guy to surrender to them, but that is when he jumped on the bike and took off. And
I think it's just sunlight.
Ever since.
Maybe the smog. Oh, this is a marine layer? Oh, really? Okay, that often can cause the helicopter to leave.
The rest of the time he has been on surface streets for the most part. So it's unclear if this is an area that is familiar to him or not. He seems to know his way around.
She's not saying anything right now, Phil. Nothing.
And fortunately, in terms of close calls, we haven't really had any, even though he has been traveling at high speeds.
You're right, the 15 minutes, I forgot.
Pursuit that started now at about, I want to say it started at about 7 o'clock, but for about an hour, the LAPD had tried to negotiate with him to just surrender.
Are we going to start another one? Will this last for 30 minutes?
Yeah, they're giving him a little bit of room because they essentially don't want him to think that he's being pursued, and perhaps that'll get him to slow down or even pull over and get off the bike. But there are a few units from the LAPD that are behind him. Earlier, I counted about 3.
You can hear her?
When they're on the opposite side of the road, and there is a police helicopter.
Why can't I hear her? Why the fuck can I hear her?
Correct, yeah. Just on the west end of the
I can hear this.
With a motorcyclist. How do you?
Why can't I hear Eliana? This is so fucking stupid. What?
Was seen brandishing that weapon, what his intentions may have been. But the good thing is that we don't believe anyone was hurt.
Why? How does this work?
Widen out and count those units because we were wondering how many units were in the pursuit, and it's actually about half a dozen units of the LAPD's West Valley Division that continue to chase this guy on the ground. But you've also got an LAPD chopper overhead.
I may have to switch back because I can't hear her. Oh, that's frustrating, but all right. We got to... I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. If I can't hear it, then I'm not entertained properly. Okay, let's go here. I don't understand why.
Armed with
I can hear that.
Of weapons or 2 different types of
loud
guns.
And clear.
This is not something they want to just let play out. This is something they want to try to get under control.
It makes
now,
no sense.
You know, I kind of was mentioning earlier, Jeff, you pointed out that he was pretty much stopping at all the stoplights and obeying traffic laws, and that was giving them the chance to have some communication with him. So, that's obviously an idea that they're trying to do, but now,
Yeah, we'll throw the 5+ cops on there. Also, sidewalk. We saw him go up on a sidewalk.
So that line of communication probably isn't there anymore. Now, down the road, if they wanted to take it there, your other options are to bring in armored vehicles. We've seen them do that before. and box him in. But again,
Tina, what's
because
up?
it's a motorcycle, you have to be very precise on if you're going to do that box-in thing. There's got to be no room for him to wiggle out, right? Which we've already seen him do a couple of times. He, came up to a cul-de-sac and drove on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
to the dirt
Shinji,
path,
I totally
with the street
can.
behind him. So,
But
much
I
harder.
mean,
It's,
sorta.
thread
It just
needle
wasn't
to
coming
try
through
to
my
get him
speakers.
boxed in there.
And I was thinking,
Well, I was just going to say, and also
I could
I'm
control
just
how
really
loud
not
it was
opting
for you
less than
guys.
lethal at this point because he has a firearm. He has fired that weapon. We understand police say that he has 2 weapons with him, so it's not like they're going to be able to. I guess they probably could hit him with some less than lethal rounds, but then. You lose control of the motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't know if you
motorcycle
want to. I
goes,
mean,
you don't know where.
you
that
think the
could
guy
be a
could
harm to the
just?
public.
I don't.
There's just
If he's
as
got
you
a gun
mentioned,
like in his
a
belt, like he
real
could pull out and
narrow,
start shooting if they fuck with him, or
place here for them to use any sort of abatement here, any sort of way to stop this guy.
Yeah, I mean, their options are just really limited, and it's, obviously they don't want to let him keep going. And I think one of the things, and, Des can chime in on this too.
Shoot him quicker
I've
then,
ever
yeah.
seen a barricade suspect be able to successfully evade
Leave the scene.
barricade situation
Yeah.
that they're in. I mean,
Yeah.
we were to the point here where we saw a mobile command post from
Right.
LAPD pull up. I mean, we were well within, the initial processes of this, where in theory they would have had a
Wait.
secure enough scene that
he
wouldn't have been
pulled.
able to get out.
Wait,
But
they
as you see the
started
video on the right side of
following
your
this
screen, that's
before
when
he
he
even
the
left his
garage,
house.
and drives right past
and
them.
right,
No
exactly, again,
way.
because of the agility of the motorcycle.
Yeah, that's
Right.
crazy.
Known it, they probably would have tried to get him
Right.
at that point. but
Right,
of
I mean,
course
you got
didn't.
They were
five
over his
cars
house
there.
when he
There's
was
another
on the
4, I think,
balcony
right
and he
here
just
at
got
this
in
T
his
intersection
what?
that he comes to, plus the command post, plus the fire department was there.
That's
sitting
insane.
as well. So
I never seen that
that
before.
looks like an incident commander. You can see the schematics on the route on the hood there.
I'm not even sure they knew that was the person they had barricaded
well, I
inside.
think Desmond had heard from the helicopter that as soon as he came out of the garage, they're like, "All right, he's leaving."
Okay.
It certainly took us by surprise. Again, we've never.
So he
I don't think
actually,
I've ever
they
seen
were
a
they were having a
barricade suspect
standoff
be
with
able
him.
to
He
successfully
barricaded in his
get
house.
out
They
of the
thought, and then
area
he
that
just
they're,
went and left.
barricaded in.
Let's go back up to Sky Cal and Desmond Shaw, Des, as he continues now on shoot.
Soundless, they
from
want this
Miranda.
guy because he was on his balcony in his house firing his
So
gun.
now north of the 101 freeway, they were kind of circling around the same neighborhood, a couple of laps there. Now kind of trending back to where this all began. And you can see here, the police get out here with their weapons.
They get out every time.
Every time that this
He's
person
not
comes to a
gonna.
stop.
He's not
But,
done.
as soon as the light turns
They get
green,
out
it's
every
going to
time.
go again. And indeed,
It's like a video
there
game,
they
you
go.
know?
And
Like they just
just like to
automatically
echo that
stop and
sentiment,
get
I
out,
think
like
LAPD
it's a
was
felony
shocked
stop.
That this person just opened the garage and drove out. You were saying that we've never seen anything. I don't know that LAPD's ever seen it happen either. We were probably.
Cops are the real people who
imagine
don't wanna
that
work.
SWAT had been summoned to the scene for this.
Yeah,
so
firing his gun from the
probably,
balcony. Yeah, down here,
when
that's.
this
I
all
don't.
happened,
That's
and,
not.
It was
I mean,
just really caught everyone
ridiculous,
by
but-
surprise, least of all us, and least of
I
all
work with
LAPD,
this dude
and
who
I
was
could see a
telling me
couple
that
of
his
the
neighbor
officers'
goes
faces
out
just
on his
kind of
back
in
porch
shock
and
as this
fires
person
his
sped right by
AK.
them. And,
I was like,
then it
dude, that
was
is
like,
fucking
well, okay, I guess
deranged.
we're in
But my
pursuit now,
my
and,
coworker did not
here
seem
we
to think
go.
it was unusual
And,
at all.
The complicating factor with with weapons.
And
both
yeah,
in
he
life
was
here,
next to a
LAPD has
school.
reason to believe in these storage
And they
departments. Now,
evacuated
we
the
believe
school.
Not one, but two, as we're on Oxnard
School was
Street.
the classes
and,
were over though.
hopefully this guy's just, sometimes we've seen some volatile situations, and then all of a sudden the suspects just need some time, and they pull over and they give it up. The hope is that this guy is just needed to get out, blow off some steam. It's a lovely evening here in the San Fernando Valley, a nice evening for a bike ride, and maybe they'll come to their senses, but hard to be optimistic that will be how this all comes to an end.
We continue to cover the story here live on KCAL News.
Shooting BB
we're
guns, yeah,
extended here
that
at 7:23,
makes sense, but
before our regular programming starts 8 o'clock, bringing
It's
you
not
this
so loud.
LAPD motorcycle pursuit of a rioter wanted for waving a gun from the balcony of his home in West Hills and actually firing some rounds. That was part of a standoff.
It is a
with
lovely
police, and
evening
then
in
he,
the San Fernando
escaped,
Valley.
if you will, out of his own home with this motorcycle, just opening up the garage and taking off as police officers watch. As that's going to be the right-hand part of your screen. Is
He
going
just
to be him escaping from that.
pulled
West
out of the
Hills home.
pulled out of the
We'll play this
driveway,
video
left.
for just a few minutes, Jasmine, as you take a look.
Yeah.
He drives right.
Where are all
by
the cops?
LAPD cruisers. and
They're
we
all
see
right
him,
there. Okay.
You see four
Just-
or five there, and then he hits a road here, takes
Okay.
a left-hand turn in front of another number of officers.
And you assume at this
I
point
hate
they've
this-
gone
I hate this
inside if
replay
they've gotten
shit,
some
but-
sort of warrant to do that, or at least maybe tried to speak to
I
some
can't
family
hear
members, or
Eliana.
we don't know if he was alone at the time, just that he was on his second floor balcony,
does that make any sense?
waving the gun around and even causing a.
Can I hear it
the
on
Chaminade
KTLA?
College Prep
This
to
area
cancel
is
their
Maine,
baseball game as a
the
result
west end
because
of
of the
the
concern.
San
I can't hear KTLA
this
either.
man was doing that.
I assume you guys are hearing that, but I'm not. What the fuck? We're stuck with CBS, dude. We're stuck
should
with
mention
them.
this all started around 5 o'clock, long after the school and Chaminade High School was let out of classes for the day. There was a baseball game that was in progress as this happened. Of course, they postponed that,
showing
stopped the
replays,
game,
man.
and
Come on.
evacuated the players. Let's go over to Mike Rogers at the assignment desk. Mike, I know that you are probably making some contacts and maybe hearing the latest.
Yeah, we're checking with, you brought up a good point, or Desmond, somebody did.
Get away.
about,
Oh, I can hear ABC. We're gonna
their
switch.
Involvement was if they were on the way. So we're checking with
For some reason, I can hear you.
Was this a situation where they'd already been activated?
I just don't want the replays.
That he's going to get away in the situation, which
I wanna
really,
see
as
the full
mentioned,
screen
turns
of
this
the
into more
chase
of
at
a
all
joyride
times.
Until that tank is out of gas.
Yeah, that last stop at that stoplight was interesting because it did seem like the LAPD unit that was right behind him was intent on using a less than lethal, and he may even have fired it. I'm just not sure. It did seem like he had some serious intent there, but then the person on the motorcycle then took off too quickly. We'll look at the video in a little while. In the meantime, we got a little bit more information about the first call. It was a man with a gun.
Out of gas, did he say it?
2300 block of Wyndham Street, and that's when officers arrived to check it out. They saw a man in a residence, and he appeared to be armed, and that's when the man told them to get out. And then I guess they
Thanks,
did
Mr.
back
Wiggly.
down or back out because it was a
Here we
little
go
bit later
again.
on.
Yeah, that
Yeah, we
guy's
can
got.
see the guy
That
with the
guy
left
looks like
lethal.
he's gonna do something.
He always steps out and
Right?
he's taking aim, that's for sure. But
What is Bonnie and
yes,
Clyde? It's when it's a man
officers
and a
backed
woman.
off, and then when this person took off from the residence and jumped on his motorcycle, then the chase was on. So initially, it was a man with a gun call. but
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
what
have
I'm
a whole
saying,
lot
Will.
more
I do
information
not
than that, which
want
does,
something to
make
happen
this
in the
very
chase while it's
dangerous
down in the
and
corner.
gives us
Because look,
some
I'm trying to get
understanding of why
YouTube
the
Shorts
LAPD
clips
is taking
here.
this
If
very
it's just
seriously.
if it's
He may
little
still be
box
armed,
in the
as you
corner
said,
when
Chris.
something happens,
He
I'm
may be
screwed.
extremely dangerous, and if this is a man with a gun call, was he even meant or supposed to be in that residence, or was he intruding or
He
invading?
could probably
We
stop and
don't
get
know.
gas. You're right, Case. Well,
Lots of
yeah, I
unknowns,
guess.
and going back to
I don't know. It
his
looked like that
intentions
one
here,
cop is getting out
we
with
have
something
now done
other than a
full loop.
regular
So if you
gun,
remember
like
just
ready
a few months
to.
ago, we were turned off of
ready
Shoup onto
to,
Oxnard, and he did a
you
big
know,
giant loop as we were trying to guess where he might go.
like, get him.
Well, he ended up right back on Shoup and then turned onto Oxnard again. Now he's turned northbound off
No,
of
I haven't,
Oxnard,
Mr. Wiggly.
But he is really clearly
I used to
now
use,
making this up as he goes
I was
along.
using the
There
one
is
that
no clear
Streamlabs made for a while, that one.
He appears to be
But I'd rather have
somewhat
like
in the West
the
Valley
ability to
here,
do
but
keyframe
he
stuff.
is, just
You know, and
making
like
up these turns
I
as
like
he
to have a
goes
lot of
along. He is
control over
not
it
aiming
now.
for any particular destination, but if he finds a hiding spot, not out of the question that he might decide to dump the bike and then try and run forward or hide out. But he's got so much pressure
I
on
might
him
check it out though.
that the odds are just not in his favor. He's got upwards of half a dozen units, close to 10, maybe even more, and we saw some units even passing him. In fact, he came up on a red light. And
All
we
right,
saw
dude,
an
you
undercover
should,
unit that went ahead of him as
maybe
well.
start
So
taking right
you can see
turns.
them every time he stops at these red lights for whatever reason. You can see them opening their doors, ready to execute that
Yeah.
stop, and then as you mentioned, Colleen, it turns into a game of cat and mouse, which we see so often by motorists, not only in cars, but obviously in this case,
If something
motorcycles
crazy
as
happens,
well.
I have a
Clearly
button in
thinking
front of me
he's
for a
got a shot
replay.
to get away,
But it's
I
a
just
small
don't think
box instead of
it's
taking the
gonna
whole
work
damn
out
thing.
for
Oh,
him
these people
tonight.
are gonna
Certainly
walk
you can
right
see
in
him
front of
stopping
them.
for another red light at the crosswalk there. Some pedestrians crossing
wonder what
the
he
road
said
there,
to them.
waiting their turn now. He continues to blow through there again on Topanga Canyon Boulevard now.
Yeah.
He
you know,
waved
it
them
is-
across.
Again, there is something reassuring, Chris. You know, many of us have children, and it is something reassuring to see a motorcyclist stop as opposed to a big vehicle plowing through these intersections, because those motorcyclists, they obviously see. They see more, and they're more sensitive to their also well-being, and you know they don't want to hit anybody.
Bad friend, what's up?
Because it's also kind of seals their fate as well.
Yeah, and by the way, he doesn't seem to be on a suicide pact here. He's driving fairly safely.
Yeah, no,
you
totally.
know, a
He
little more
seems
than half the
concerned for his
time,
own
despite the fact
safety.
that he is going through some red lights. When
I mean, if he
sees
wanted
those
to
flashing
die, he'd be
lights
driving
behind
much
him,
crazier, and he'd
occasionally
probably be
he'll break
pulling
some of the
guns on
rules,
the
but
cops.
He's not driving exceptionally fast at the speeds that motorcycle is capable of. He's not driving extremely erratic, except to, at some points, trying to navigate and squeeze through some vehicles, only with the purpose of getting away from those officers.
Oh, Fostito, what's
But
up?
Once he finds those openings, he just stops for some of these red lights.
Ran
stops for
almost
some of the
hurt a
red lights,
trooper.
stops for
She was out of
pedestrian
jail the
traffic,
next day.
and continues this
Damn.
joyride as he makes it up. But he does not appear to be driving in a way that I'd be overly concerned with him wiping out. He appears to be pretty capable, but certainly it just takes one wrong move. And
What's
a
he doing
motorcycle
now?
Can become a deadly weapon.
Go
or,
around that
it
guy?
can become a
Yeah,
death machine
okay.
for that motorist.
I guess we
Okay,
can't see what's in
so
front
I want
of
to
him.
give
really.
our audience a little briefing real quickly on what's happening here. We are ending Eyewitness News at 6:30 to 7:30, but we're going to stay on top of this pursuit and continue to stream this.
Dangerous
online.
motorcycle.
So we want to thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7 o'clock, but we will continue to watch this suspect on his Harley evade the LAPD. Thanks for joining us.
All right, Christy is still live overhead in Air 7 HD. We've been watching him. Chris, also something of a factor that would.
Why did I pull up
play a
4
part
news
is that,
stations and I can hear 2 of
sunset
them and
is
can't hear
happening
the other
right
2?
now, and once it does get dark and you see all those the LAPD, so many LAPD cruisers trying to capture
That makes
this
no
suspect.
sense.
But I wonder, does that
Oh, we hit the
change
30-minute
way
mark.
that this is handled, or does it not?
Absolutely. We've got about 20 minutes left. Sunset.
Everyone
comes in
basically
about
said
20
yes.
minutes, and then some
So you're
remaining
probably not getting
daylight
very many
after
points.
About 20 minutes, and then some remaining daylight after that. So figure about a half hour of daylight before he can more easily blend into the darkness of night, and much easier for him to find hiding spots, in which case he can speed off and evade those officers, or he can, well, in this case, he's still stopping for some of these
Lady
intersections.
Stiletto, what's up?
As soon as
And
he sees those
YHL.
doors open up, he waits for traffic and continues through the red light here. But they've got about a half hour left before that daylight does.
Okay, I did not
become
start
an
the
issue,
next
but the same
prediction. We're
rules
going to.
apply, to
Will
many
this
of the
chase
car
last for
pursuits that we see,
45
and
minutes?
in the sense that they would much rather see this get onto the freeway. Now, he was on the 101 for a brief time. That didn't last long. He got off the freeway. I'm not sure if there was traffic in his way or he just didn't feel comfortable. For whatever reason, he's
2
now
minutes
going
to gamble
northbound
your points.
towards the 118 freeway, which is coming
Shirt
up
in the
another
dark.
couple
How's it
miles. He'll have
going?
Another opportunity to get onto the freeway
Been a while.
and exhaust some more gas. But it is much
It's just
safer
over and over they
to
pull up and
less
get
than
out of their
50%
cars.
of
It's
the
just
time.
like a.
He has
It's
indeed
so
been on
mindless.
surface
It's like
streets, and in
so.
some cases, even on very narrow residential
It just
streets,
feels to
where
me
you
like a
start to get
video
little bit
game.
more nervous, especially when there is,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
about.
Mr.
But
Wiggly.
right
Same
now,
thing. Like
he
maybe
appears to
they're.
have
Yeah, maybe they
no
have to.
avenue,
I don't know.
Wide open for him as he comes up on another red light here at Valerio Street, through the green light as it turns green, and continue.
Oh, I see. That's your prediction. I got you.
On Canoga Avenue, I would say we should approach the 118 freeway probably in the next couple of minutes if he continues northbound on Canoga, guys.
Yeah, and again, Chris, you can see that that he's also using indicators as well to as he drives. So again, you just said it a moment ago, he doesn't seem like he's driving really recklessly. He's obviously driving quickly, but again, you can see that he knows how to use this motorcycle. These Harley Davidsons, ooh, he's
Why are
really
they not
doing an
shutting down the
abrupt
streets?
stop right
Well,
there. But
They
those
sort of
Harley
tried, and you
Davidsons
just
are
weave
so
through them.
sturdy,
So a big thing
when
about this Yeet Master is they think this guy has a
you
gun
know,
on him.
see these
And
kind of
when that's the
pursuits, you can
case,
see
they
it's such a
don't
difference
like
than one of
to
those, very,
really
very
force the
fast
issue a lot.
motorcycles.
Yeah,
Because
and
you
he's
block
very
this guy
capable-
in, you
capable of
corner
extreme
him,
speeds, but
you
it's a
know,
very stable
the chances are
motorcycle as
much
far as
higher that
motorcycles
he's going to
go,
try and
but
do
still,
something
just
really
one wrong
desperate.
Move, and,
Yeah.
and that could change so quickly. But he does appear to care about his own safety, is what I was trying to say. And it just
Look at all
seems
those
like
cop cars.
He's attempting.
Yeah, the
to
LA
drive
trip was good,
like,
man.
like a civilized person. He's just refusing to pull over and willing. To
Yeah,
do what
also
it
they can't
takes
predict where he's
to
turning, so
not
it's
go
tough to
jail.
set up a
But again,
roadblock.
He's on borrowed time, and he is aware and willing to use the weapon at his disposal if indeed he does still have it on him, which is the assumption that those officers are
They work
operating
with that
under. They did
assumption.
not recover
Right.
a gun at the scene. He pointed it at them, but appears that he took it with him. And so that is what really changes the calculations here. When they know that that suspect...
Hey, Bill D,
may be
what's up?
armed
And Mohammed.
dangerous, that is a big deciding factor on how to proceed forward here. And as long as that is the case...
yeah,
they
bad
can
friend,
treat
totally,
with
man. He's not trying to get away
he's
at
on that
all.
motorcycle.
He's just...
There's really not much they
you
can
know?
do. They, like you said, we don't have the typical tactics at their disposal. You can't do a pit maneuver. You can't do a spike strip.
It's a
You
joyride.
really
He's trying to
just have
avoid, I don't
try
know,
and
he doesn't
keep
want to
up.
go to
The name of
jail
the
yet, I
game
guess.
is keeping up with the motorcycle, trying to maintain a visual, whether it's via the ground units or the air units, and then close in on him once the
He
person
got on
once
that
the,
freeway
once
and
he
like
gets
got
the
them
motorcycle
off
or
of
runs
him
out
for a
gas. I
minute,
mean,
but it
those are
wasn't
really
like
the two,
that was smart.
the
But
two
at the same
ways that
time,
this
it's
is
like,
gonna
dude, he
end is
doesn't
one or the
want
other.
to.
Yeah, I don't know if these kind of motorcycles are gas guzzlers.
He doesn't
but I
really
would
care.
think they are out of many motorcycles. I would think that these probably go through gas a little bit more inefficiently as others. But, you know, the other thing, you know, when you see pursuits happening, you can always see the driver.
What's
many
the house
times they'll
thing?
get on
I'm
their
not sure what you mean,
phone, or
Sharp.
they'll be looking for their phone. This person is, you know, all eyes, both hands on the wheel. And what I don't know is obviously I know that, you know, if they were
Oh, Tim, welcome.
you know, motorcycle police officers, they obviously can talk through their helmets. But
This
I don't
basketball
know
game's going on. I
if,
guess I'll pull it back up. I didn't
these
think this was
types
going to
of-
last so long that I'd miss
these
any of the
types of
game.
vehicles, you know, they can play the radio really
Guess I'll get it
loudly,
back
'cause
on
if
my
you
other
drive next to
screen.
one and they have the radio on, you can really hear it kind of blaring. But I don't know if they can kind of negotiate with law enforcement while they're driving a motorcycle. Do you know?
My hunch
Oh.
is, just looking at that helmet, my hunch is that the answer is no. I mean, there are Bluetooth-capable helmets. I know that for a fact, but I don't think that is one of them. Just
Those bikes have
the
speakers,
first
right?
glance, Rob, I don't know if you could tell. Doesn't look like
I mean, it
a
doesn't look like
high-tech
he's
helmet,
talking.
but
All energy, all attacking.
more agitated
Yes.
now, a little more animated as he jockeys back and forth, you know, trying to maintain control here. And it looks like he is now widen out a little bit. I just want to see, he's continuing down Sherman Way here, picking
That
up a
cop's
bit of
coming
speed.
up
In
on
fact,
him.
let's throw up
Police
our
officer
real-time
right there.
speed tracker, doing about 30 miles over the speed limit here on Sherman Way. So picking up some speed, a little faster than we've seen earlier on in this pursuit. But
Pretty
once
good,
again,
and
ready to make
loudspeakers.
another random turn into a residential neighborhood off of
Yeah, these
Sherman
bikers love to
onto
blast their
Woodlake
music,
Avenue.
totally.
Again, all of this area is pretty residential here, although Woodlake happens to
Oh.
have a good 4 to 5 lanes to play with here.
And he's putting
Okay.
Looks like he's gesturing.
So you
towards
telling
the
him he's gonna
right.
turn
I'm not
right?
Sure what that's about, but continuing this.
Oh, the
joyride
house thing for
nonetheless,
Gino.
back
Okay,
up
okay.
North, very noticeably towards the area where this pursuit began.
Yeah, he's obviously
So,
making some. You just saw him a moment ago put both of his hands in the air to kind of signal something. I don't know.
Josu,
what,
what's
but,
up?
You know, our producer was talking.
Thanks
to
for
us,
coming.
Michelle, and she said, you know, we're talking about certain motorcycles and their gas tanks, but again, I don't know how long.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
What
He's
the
right
heck?
back
What
where this
the-
started.
What was
He's
that?
Right back where that barricade situation was taking
Oh,
place.
this is where he
Where
started?
that
Those
man with
cops
the
never
gun,
left?
They responded to this area, and now he's right back where this all started.
The last
Clearly,
prediction was
he
45
is
minutes, so
most
we got to get
familiar
another
with
7
this
minutes.
neighborhood. But not only that, look at this. He's going right through the yellow tape.
It's
Right
unbelievable.
He went
through
through
the yellow crime scene tape, where there is still a full contingent.
Yo,
of
he's
LAPD
going back home.
officers. Now a cul-de-sac into a dead end here.
This
where
is his
he drives
house.
Back home, where this all started apparently, where officers are waiting for him. The joyride is over. He appears to have
Wow.
for the evening and is now
Wow.
possibly willing to give up
Oh.
here as he gets off.
Oh,
the
they
bike.
shot him with
the
the.
fun is over for him. He enjoyed that, guys.
They probably
This was a
tased
game
him.
for him from the minute he got on that motorcycle, and now they are taking him down. They are taking him down in the
Our
middle
angle here is
of
not
a
very
large
good, but-
crime scene where there are dozens of officers. He drove right.
I wish that it
into
wasn't this way,
the
but
bee's nest
sorry.
and
Hold on.
under the yellow crime scene tape, only to arrive at what appears to
Let's
be
look at it from another angle.
either his home or a residence that he is familiar with. In any event, he
Look at all those
right
cops.
back to where it all started, where they are now taking him into custody. He appears to have given up, but not without a wild joyride through the West San Fernando
Is his
Valley.
face
Yeah,
fucked up
Chris,
now?
You can see them. They're obviously trying to find his weapon, but it doesn't
No.
look like he has a weapon on him
He's
right
fine.
now. And
Dude, he
I
don't
said
have a
that
gun
time.
on
They
him.
are
They
treating
just
him
made
with,
that shit up.
I wouldn't say
Oh yeah, his face
So,
is a little
you know, with
busted
the-
up. Just got
with the less
got
than,
smashed onto the
forceful
concrete.
touch, which
Is
good
that a
to
gun?
see, but you know, he's obviously
that's like his
not
phone or
animated
something.
Now, you know, sometimes we see people really getting animated, and but it doesn't look like he's talking to them.
That's a gun?
No, he's you know, he's basically given up. He's letting
I guess.
them,
Was that
do
a
what
gun?
They've got to do. They've got to frisk him, make sure there's no threat, no weapons, nothing like that.
Is that what this guy's got right
He
here?
checked out. He tumbled off of that
I
bike,
guess
and it
so.
Looks like they struggled.
I mean,
to get
show that
helmet
guy,
off,
please.
But in any event,
Okay.
you could see the number of officers that remained at this location after this.
You guys
pursuit
think that
started.
was a gun in his hand?
Literally, he got through all of these officers to get on that motorcycle and engage in that pursuit, only to end up right back where it appears to have all started.
Like this
which
thing in
really
his hand right here, is that a
proved
gun?
this
I don't
was
think so.
A game for him. It was a game of cat and mouse.
What
toying
happened?
With those
What are you
officers,
doing?
Going on a wild joyride, having his last
Oh, they
few
went
moments of
offline.
freedom, and now
Was he
appears
tased?
to be
Yeah, I
giving up,
think so.
without too much of a fight here.
Yeah, and you're right with that. He
Yeah,
he
nobody
sort of
expected him to go
definitely,
home.
Controlled the narrative of his pursuit, and he
Nobody called
controlled
that.
the narrative of him being apprehended. Which, you know, at the end of the day, it's good to see it happen like this.
Absolutely. Oh, this could have ended up, you know.
The cops did. They were
worse.
waiting
Not
at his
only
house.
Was this a danger to a lot of people on the road? But he could have.
Sure,
walked
he
out
was wanted
and
because
it
he
could
was
have
on
been
his
very,
balcony
very
firing his
nice. He could
gun.
have dumped the bike or run out of gas, but there was always that third possibility of him wiping out or hurting somebody else. And fortunately, we did not see that happen. There are some.
I don't think he had a gun on him.
there. I'm not sure
I think
if
whatever they
tased
took
him.
out of
It
his
looks like they
pocket
may have actually
was like.
employed a taser, Colleen.
'Cause he looks
And
so
that's-
lethargic while
that
he's
looks
walking.
like the cables that were dragging.
Ah,
him.
okay,
I'm
they
pretty
tased
sure
him.
they tased him off of that
Really?
motorcycle. We'll
Did
wait
they?
for further confirmation. But
Yeah,
it
it does look
appear
like it.
that a taser was employed to get him off of that motorcycle.
And you don't see any neighbors out kind of talking to him, or you know, you would think that a neighbor would be out saying it's
neighbors-
okay.
the
You know, you always
neighbors
see
are
neighbors
staying
kind of
inside.
trying to, like, but it's he looks just kind of like dazed, where he wasn't dazed.
Well, those who
a moment
predicted
ago.
no are going to get
Right, when he
quite a
was on
few
that
points here.
motorcycle in those closing moments, he was fairly animated and agitated. Now
can barely
he's
stand
just
up.
kind of resigned to the fact that you know, he's going to spend the night at Men's Central Jail. I mean, that's basically you know, his plans are already made. He just was enjoying the ride, as they say.
Yeah.
As he,
Phil and
engaged
Sentless
in
said
that
the same
pursuit.
thing.
But it could have ended very ugly. Fortunately, we have a peaceful resolution.
All right, everybody.
All's well that ends
Hey, if
well,
you
as they
haven't
say,
already
but,
followed
yeah,
the
big
channel
commotion
on
for this
Twitch or
neighborhood.
subscribed to
I
the
would
channel on
imagine a lot of
YouTube,
these neighbors
please
have already
do
been
that.
to stay inside again. We believe
Before
this
you
was,
leave
some
me.
kind of a barricade situation when that man with a gun call first came through. But as he arrived home, you could see there was a
Neighbors are
number
glad not to hear
Oh,
that
right
fucking
there.
bike.
officers with tactical gear ready and almost waiting for him as he made his way back into this cul-de-sac.
Well, and that's what leads us to believe that he definitely controlled the narrative. Maybe his the person he's accused of having an altercation with even told that to the authorities, saying there's no way he's going to crash his bike, that he's going to come back. And
Yeah, they may
it's
have. They know more than
It
us.
is amazing to see that he did.
And yeah, he's got
sort
a
of
nice home.
peacefully and didn't want to ruin his bike and went right back home. And again, I didn't see them find a weapon, but of course they'll.
Quinby,
they'll
it was an
have a
interesting
debrief, and
one.
We will certainly get all the actual.
Yeah, the neighbors are
details,
clutching their pearls, Lady
tonight,
Stiletto, for sure.
for eyewitness
Look at that
interviews
house,
o'clock.
man.
But
That's
again,
nice.
This pursuit looks like it's been wrapped up. It looks like now law enforcement are sort of discussing the events that took place, and of course they will really have a good debrief though on this one, Chris.
Oh, absolutely. And I think right now the primary
Thanks, Will.
goal is to find that weapon, whether it was on him.
Appreciate
we
all of
weren't
you,
able to see clearly
YouTube,
when he
Twitch,
was
wherever
first
you're
tased off
at
that
watching
bicycle,
this.
or motorcycle rather, if they were able to retrieve a weapon. But if they weren't, they've got to retrace
I'm
some
getting
of their steps
awfully
here,
close
figure
to
out
the
where he
100,000
took that
subs.
gun, if that's indeed,
So,
what happened
if you
here.
want to
So they're
help,
gonna,
you could sub to
coordinate
that
here. They're gonna debrief, as you
channel.
mentioned, and,
Getting
of course,
really
try and find
close.
that weapon as they rack up the charges. that
They're gonna
this
have to
person
send me
is going to
that
be facing, not too,
play
well,
button sometime, like
in the
next
coming
week
days
or
here.
so.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that wraps up our coverage of this pursuit. We saw it come to a peaceful end. Chris Christie, thank you so much.
Yeah, we're
for joining
edging
us
that
on
100K
Celebrating.
right
We're
now.
going to have the very latest on Eyewitness.
All right,
News at
guys.
11
Thank you.
o'clock. Again,
We're
thanks
gonna
for
go
joining us.
watch
We will see
the
you back here tomorrow night.
Nuggets and the Lakers. Thanks, Mr. Wiggly. You may need to request. Yeah, Phil,
Something
you
all of a
gotta
sudden that is
fill out a
now
form and
no
shit.
longer or diminishingly
Gotta fill out a
available
form.
to us.
They didn't clear the bike. Yeah, it looked like they didn't. Like maybe that's where the gun was. I don't know. Hockey, yo, I'm just about to get out of here. We just saw the end of this chase. Thanks for the congratulations, everybody. I'm not quite there yet, but we're going to get there. It's only in the next few days. I don't know. Going to get there. All right.